Welcome. Funny seeing everyone here. Hang tight. Let me cut this off. Hang tight. Welcome. I'd like to welcome everyone to this newest edition of Checkmate. Okay, and we're gonna start it out simple. I got a new addition to the Checkmate show. So every show I will begin just like this. Mr. Hotsauce was walking down the block. Out jumps the podcast, still in all the spots. Pulls out the camera, and now he's on the screen. And Mr. Hot Sauce is on the block again. All right, today's topic. Man, you guys know what it's going to be about. Yella Beezy. Yella Beezy is now in custody and being charged with murder for hire for Mo3, for none other than our very own Mo3. Now, what I tell you? What I tell you? Was I right? You don't have to tell me. Everybody don't speak at once. Don't speak at once. Was I right? Yeah. Turns out I was right. So Keywan White, who was the person who was the alleged gunman of Mo3, the guy who jumped out of the freaking car. I don't know if you can find this media. Jumped out of the freaking car on the highway and shot at Mo3's car that was behind him. I've never seen anything like this in my life. On a busy highway in the middle of the day, like lunchtime. Chased Mo3 down and gunned him down. Ran back to his car that was still sitting in the middle of the interstate, not just the highway, the interstate. 5-lane interstate, cars going all around it, and hopped back in and got out of there. That same Keywan White, that same young man, the one who was dating the transgender person. Yeah. Freaky killer. The freak, we're going to call him the freaky killer. The freaky killer. The guy who gunned down Mo3 went to the, he's in custody, been in custody for the last 3 years. He went on ahead and snitched on Yella Beezy and let them know that, hey, man, Yella Beezy is the one who sent me. What he did was he did some recordings. He turned in all of the phone records, messages, so forth. And I believe they even got him on a recording from after he's been in custody through a third party. They did enough to get a grand jury to get everything set up to go get Yella Beezy. Now, here's the question. Bring me full screen. Is Trap Boy Freddy next? Is Trap Boy Freddy next? Is he next? Because here's the thing. At that same time when Mo3 was assassinated on that highway, it created a traffic jam, right? Of course it would. Right after it was over with, police everywhere, it's going to be traffic crazy because it's the interstate. How about Trap Boy Freddy goes live in that traffic? Like, what the hell's going on? We gonna party, bop, while he's sitting in the traffic that was created by Mo3 being assassinated. Question is Trap Boy next? Now, don't get me wrong. I listen to all of these guys' music, and I listen to every one of them's music. If their name comes up, I check them out because I'm like, oh damn, what did I miss? Are they that hot? Is it that serious? And excuse me, I'm sorry. In the Dallas-Fort Worth area, they have a very, very affluent music scene, right? Very affluent. Rest in peace, Mo3. They got Bobby Billions, something like that. Zillionaire Doe, something like that. They've got Trap Boy Freddy. They got Go Yayo. Well, Houston is Sauce Walker and those guys, but they've got a pretty interesting music scene, you know. And I checked out a lot of their music. So that being said, I listened to Trap Boy Freddy. I actually like Trap Boy Freddy. I don't like Yella Beezy as much, but I like Trap Boy Freddy. He's pretty dope. His flow is pretty it's like country. It's plain. He's pretty dope. He's pretty dope. But yeah, do you think that they're going to be coming after him next? Because I do. If somebody gets killed, you know what I'm saying, and I'm in the traffic and I'm suspected of being the person who got them killed or sent someone to get them killed, dude, I'm not going live. I'm not going live. You won't catch Mr.Hotsauce live. Now, what you'll do is, you know, I wouldn't be involved in any kind of shit like that, but you know, he could have just stayed low key, you know, but the beef was all on the internet. And with the beef being on the internet, then it's always let me one up the last post, you know? Let me one up the last post. It's a numbers thing, you know? So they got Yellow Beezy on he's locked up and they got him on a $2 million bond. $2 million. Which I believe he's gonna cover. Because what you need, you can get out with 5% of that $2 million, and there's some bondsmen that'll go ahead and do it for 3% and let you pay that back in. So yeah, you can pretty much count on him getting out and fighting this from the street. But let me ask you guys a question. Is it that serious? Is it that serious to where you have to take another man's life because of some lyrics? I mean, I know that there were more street things involved, but because of lyrics, you feel you have to take another man's life. Pause it. Well, we can't pause it because we're live, so you guys are gonna have to catch the full blast. Take the media full screen real quick and let them get a good look at Mo3. That gentleman right there. That gentleman right there lost his life due to just internet beef, music beef. All right, you can bring me back. So they got him on a $2 million bond. And like I said, I believe he's going to cover that bond. Because you take 3% of that and you're looking at what? All right, 2 million. So that's 200,000. 200,000, 3% of that. Oh, he's getting out. Oh yeah, he's getting out. He'll be out tonight. He might be out now. He may be out right now and in the studio trying to get a bunch of music done and released so that he can ride this wave and stack some more money to pay those lawyers. But that record label is getting him out. He's already out probably. Trap Boy Freddy, he's independent. So if they lock his ass up, I don't know. Question is, why did they give him a bond and not the other two guys? Is it because the other two guys were involved in the shooting itself? Possibly. Yeah, I guess that's probably why. Yeah, that's probably why. Now, moving on. We'll keep our eye on that case. But moving on. It almost seemed like simultaneously they locked up Big U, Bricc Baby, and Luce Cannon. The Luce Cannon guy I had just started liking because I like how he gets on his live and starts talking junk to those dudes, calling them sweetheart and sweetie. So I like him. other than that, I don't necessarily understand the RICO thing with those guys, but seems that they all got RICO. I don't understand how. Honestly, it's just a bunch of gang shit, which they probably do on their own, and they just call him the big homie. So it's gonna roll. It's gonna roll on him. It's gonna fall on him, and I'm sure he's doing some dirt too. But the thing is, he's got a son that's in the NFL. I'm not understanding the need to do dirt. I'm not understanding the need to do dirt. Oh, that's right. He was locked up for a lot of years, so I'm sure he probably wasn't in his son's life. So it's a good chance his son ain't about to give him anything. Maybe. But he's in the NFL. I believe he plays for the Seattle Seahawks or something like that. That's crazy. Another allegation is that Adrian Bronner, the boxer, was gambling and taking, he was in on this RICO thing, was gambling and taking money from NBA players. And this nigga was using loaded dice. He's rolling with loaded dice. NBA players, they tall and everything and big and everything, but you ain't about to go fight Adrian Bronner. What are you going to do that for? So he could beat the snot out of you? Little short dude beat the snot out of you? So they just arrested Adrian Bronner today. How crazy is that? On a big U RICO case for some loaded dice and millions of dollars confiscated. What in God's name is going on? That's why that nigga couldn't win his last few fights. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. I watched his last couple of fights. I'm like, what's going on with Adrian Bronner? He fights better with the beard. Let's start there. Bearded Adrian Bronner, to me, could fight better. But unbearded Adrian Bronner won the championship. So, I mean, I don't know. Gambling Adrian Bronner is locked up. So I guess he's a shapeshifter. We don't know which one that is. Now, to my understanding, all of these Luce Cannon and Bricc Baby were on the No Jumper podcast, to my understanding, doing an interview the day before they were arrested. Like, they had to have known that they were coming, They had to have known, because why did they have those dudes on the podcast that same day? And those were like enemies, those guys. Super interesting to me. But in the midst of all of this, I wonder where Whack 100 falls. Because they're like, okay, well, he's the feds. He's the reason all these niggas getting locked up. And I don't think that's the case. Because I actually heard an interview that not an interview, I guess it's a live, that he put out playing the phone call from the mother of an artist that Big U had signed. And the mother and the sister were on the telephone speaking to Whack, saying that, yeah, Big U is the one who did that to their son, shot the kid in the face and left him in the desert, and he died out there. Well, it turns out that he has some of Big U's DNA in his nails or some shit like that, some craziness like that, like some movie stuff. So Big U was he was refusing to give his DNA. So what they did was they did a search warrant. They put a search warrant on his DNA and retrieved his DNA. Turns out that the DNA matched the DNA that was under the young man's nails. And that pushed this RICO thing forward, because you threw murder in now. So everybody's talking about, oh, they got him locked up for buying his own U-Hauls and some weirdo shit like that. No, that's what really happened. It's the murder part that made them that triggered everything else. Once bodies start dropping, they'll let you make a little money for up to 10 years or so. Like before the feds come get you, oh, they'll let you make plenty of little money. Most certainly. They'll let you keep getting your shipments, all of that for years. Right before pension time, and then they'll come and get you. Until bodies start dropping. Now, once bodies start dropping, then they got to go ahead and move on this thing pretty quick. You know, we got 3 years. We got to get somebody in here in custody. So I'm not real sure how that's going to turn out, but I didn't hear anything about a bond with Big U. But I haven't heard anything about a bond for the other two either. So that's going to be super interesting. Super interesting. And I think that Bricc Baby, who is the Crip dude, all of them are Crips. He's the Crip dude with the dreads, the weird looking dread dude. They gave him a second indictment, which hit yesterday, for bullets and guns. For guns and bullets held by a felon. So you already know what they're going to try to push for that. That's going to probably, in California, they're going to try to probably get 10 years for that, which is a separate incident. So he's fighting 2 cases. But then his name wasn't on the indictment either. This is interesting. Or was he the one telling? Is he telling on everybody? Because his name's not on that indictment. Neither was Luce Cannon. No, Luce Cannon's name might have been on there. His name might have been on there. But Bricc Baby's name was not on there. His name was on a totally separate indictment. But they locked them up together. So we got to keep an eye on that. It's going to be super interesting. And touching back on the Mo 3 thing with Yella Beezy, I'm waiting to see if they're going to go get Trap Boy. He did the most talking out of everybody. So, and he's a lot more in the streets than Yella Beezy is. But there's one name that I hadn't mentioned that's a major factor in this. But, you know, I doubt he ever gets accused of anything. I doubt he ever, he probably never hired anyone to do anything. Just the fact that there was an issue with him, everyone else stepped up to do business, to handle the business. And that's Errol Spence. Errol Spence, I don't know if he's still the champ, but he was the champ for quite some time in boxing, middleweight champion. Light middleweight champion, Errol Spence. He's either still the champion or the #1 contender, just lost a belt or 2. He's either, I think he's the #1 contender. I think the guy, Terrence Crawford, beat him, and now Terrence Crawford is the champ. But Errol Spence and Mo 3 had some beef over Errol Spence, a chick or something that Errol Spence was messing with, or either a lady that he has a baby by, something along those lines. And Mo 3 was over there dealing with her. And once you involve a female into the beef, then you change the temperature in the room. If it's just guys, you can possibly put it, if you have a meeting, maybe scrap it out one-on-one, whatever, you can possibly, defuse the situation. But once you go to bringing in women, oh no, the bravado kicks up, the testosterone kicks in, and somebody might die. And it seems like that's possibly what happened. So you've got Mo 3 beefing with Errol Spence. Errol Spence and Yella Beezy and Trap Boy hung out together. Definitely Yella Beezy, because Yella Beezy actually was like, he had that hit single. Then he was put on that. I think he performed at the Grammys. I think Jay-Z co-signed them or something weird like that. So he was he was large in that area, larger than everyone else. But Mo3 was on the come up, because Mo3 had just did a double out, album, a joint album with Boosie. So just to get everybody caught up to speed, Yella Beezy is in custody for the Mo3 murder, which took place about 3.5 years ago. And we all kind of knew that him and Trap Boy had something going on with it. Trap Boy is not in custody. Trap Boy, no one's mentioned his name. But no one's mentioned his name yet. He's not going to be able to pull down all those videos of him coming at Mo3. He's really not. I'm sure they're going to look at everybody who has something to say on that level about, with Mo3. So me personally, I believe they'll probably be going after Trap Boy within the next week or two. I believe Yella Beezy is going to speak. He's going to say, hey, man, I'm not going down alone. Bam, bam, beam. I wouldn't be surprised if Errol Spence don't get called in for questioning. He does not have the protection of those belts. Now, if he was the champ, maybe, but he does not have the belt. Nah, he's a regular Joe. He's a contender possibly, but he's a regular Joe. Hopefully he has his money put up. Because the thing is, they suspected these dudes the day it happened. Yeah. The day it happened, everybody suspected them. And then it's been quiet ever since. It's been quiet ever since. I wonder if they're going to question him about the Roy Lee shooting. The comedian that got shot in the leg and didn't die at the scene, he lived. But then, like months later, he ended up getting his leg ended up getting infected from blood clots, and then he died then. Is that still considered murder? Because I would consider that murder. If someone gets shot if someone gets shot in one of their extremities and goes to the hospital, comes out, they're good, and 2 or 3 months later, that extremity gets infected and then they die, wouldn't the person who shot them be charged with murder? What do you think? Leave it in the comments. I think they would. So, and that beef was super public. Like, there's videos still up now. That beef was public. Really, really public. So I'm wondering if they're going to bring that up while he's in custody. That would be interesting. A lot of questions. And another thing, before I close out the show, it's real interesting how they're coming after all of these guys at the same time. Like, what? Why? Why now? Why now? This has been Checkmate. Hope you guys tune in to the next episode. Next episode, we'll be talking about more current events and more topics that hit the culture. This is Mr. Hotsauce signing off. Have a good one.